Because a huge proportion of my clients come to me curious about going in-house, a big part of what I do is help them to find the right fit. So stay tuned as I demystify the promised land of in-house counsel to help you decide if it's the right role for you. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, I'm Annie Little. I'm an ICF certified career coach and a former lawyer. I created this channel for lawyers who are looking to land, lead, and succeed in their ideal job. Why is it that so many lawyers want to make the move in-house? Probably because we're told that if we go in-house, we're not going to have to deal with billable hours, working nights and weekends, and it sounds too good to be true, yet we choose to believe it. But I find this to be one of the biggest myths in the legal profession, especially since the Great Recession. In-house legal departments are unique. For some reason, lawyers tend to think of in-house counsel roles as a monolith, and that couldn't be further from the truth. There are so many ways that in-house legal departments can be set up. So I have seen, heard about setups that look like essentially a law firm that's just kind of plopped inside of a corporation. So it operates independently of the rest of the organization, just like a law firm plopped right inside. So not a whole lot different from just working in a law firm. There are also legal departments that are relatively small, and the in-house counsel who fill that department, like sometimes it can be like one or two people, maybe three. They're basically corporate generalists, and they'll just kind of do whatever comes across their desk. I've also seen in-house counsel roles where it's kind of like a decentralized legal operation. There isn't like a legal department. They just have in-house counsel that are like embedded in different parts of the company. So it's like, oh, this is HR, so we have some employment attorneys there. Or this is, where we deal with all of our contract negotiations. So we put some counsel in there. And then there are some that are just kind of a mishmash or variation on some of that stuff, which is why it's so important for you to investigate any sort of in-house role that you think you might be interested in. So next, let's talk about in-house counsel job duties. Many in-house counsel roles are way more generalist than many of my clients would expect, especially because they are coming from a highly specialized practice area within a law firm. Here are some common responsibilities of in-house counsel: corporate governance, regulatory compliance, litigation management, just general management of outside counsel, often for litigation, but sometimes for other matters as well, issues of employment law, tax, contract negotiation with third-party vendors, real estate issues like leases, and pretty much anything else that might come up that people identify as legal. So it's kind of like the worst case scenario where you're at a cocktail party and people find out you're a lawyer, except when you're in-house counsel, you're actually responsible for solving those problems. One of the reasons cited by my clients for wanting to explore in-house job opportunities is the perceived work-life balance. But it's important to remember that after or in the wake of the Great Recession in 2009, most in-house legal departments were ruthlessly downsized, and the lawyers who were remaining were expected to do so much more with so many fewer resources. So now, while these legal departments have remained smaller, when an urgent matter comes up, there isn't a really deep bench of lawyers for them to draw on, so it becomes more of an all-hands-on-deck sort of event, and that's where you find yourself working nights and weekends. So when you're looking at an in-house role, you're going to want to figure out if those types of events are common, rare, predictable, like for example, maybe it happens at quarter ends and so you can plan around it, or is it more infrequent and unexpected, or is it like a feature? Because I have worked with people at really like top, companies where in-house counsel are expected to do at least as much as like a big firm partner. Speaking of big firms, another reason that my clients express an interest in finding an in-house role is because they want to ditch the billable hour. So we tend to think, oh, I go in-house, I no longer have to track my billables. But here's what comes along with that. You are going to be referred to as a cost center. But think about what's happening when you're tracking your billable hours. You are demonstrating where your value is. Hours billed translates into money. So assuming that that money gets collected, that's revenue. You're a revenue generator. When you work in-house, you don't have billable hours. You're not billing anyone directly for your work. And so internally, they view you as a cost center. To add insult to injury, in-house counsel also tend to make less than law firm lawyers. So those billable hours aren't looking so bad all of a sudden, are they? All that said, in-house roles can be really fulfilling when they're the right fit. And if you want to make the transition in-house, it's going to be really important that you're able to demonstrate how your transferable skills are going to translate into value for the organization. If you're not sure how to do that, check out my free masterclass, 3 Simple Strategies for Uncovering Any Lawyer's Transferable Skills. It's linked in the description below, and it will help you to identify what your transferable skills are and then be able to communicate them to any employer, including in-house.